Hey everybody, how are you? This is Jim Prusak, physical therapist from the Pain PT. Hope you guys are doing well today. I'm going to touch on stress today as a general term and how stress very much is linked with somatic symptoms in the body, health complaints, health illness, medical conditions, physical symptoms, all this type of stuff. And I put out a blog post today just going over this again because I feel like it's the most neglected area of medicine that we have going right now for us. Here we are, 2024, and we've still cut the head off from the body. Quite incredible that we are still doing this. Most medical doctors, primary care physicians, healthcare practitioners are not assessing for stress, not looking at the role of stress in the production and causation of symptoms. It's a big problem. WebMD has an article that was peer reviewed. Here, I'm going to read to you. It's also my blog post from today. If you want to sign up for my blog post, just go to thepainpt.com. You can sign up there. Again, this is a medically reviewed article, December of 2021, effects of stress on your body. I'm just going to highlight a couple things here. 43% of all adults suffer adverse health effects from stress. 43% of all adults suffer adverse health effects from stress. 75 to 90% of all doctors' office visits are for stress-related ailments and complaints. Let this sink in, please. 75 to 90% of all doctors' office visits are for stress-related ailments and complaints. That is massive, massive. Now, how many doctors have you seen? How many healthcare practitioners have you seen that have asked you about stress, that have asked questions about your life, questions about your childhood? Have they assessed for adverse childhood events? Have they assessed for trauma, PTSD, anxiety, depression, current life stresses, things like that? Have they even asked you and looked at that? Probably not. Or if they have, they've thought of it as a small piece of the puzzle instead of it being a primary cause and driver of symptoms. They go on to say stress can play a part, as we know, in problems such as headaches, high blood pressure, heart problems, diabetes, skin conditions, asthma, arthritis, depression, anxiety, and many, many other symptoms. A lot of people ask me, Jim, what about this symptom? What about that symptom? Well, stress can affect any symptom. I can't say this enough time. Any symptom can be a production of stress. Why? Because the brain is wired up to your nervous system, which goes to every organ in the body, goes to every tissue in the body. So there could be any symptom that could be a production or a reaction to stress. It's not only certain symptoms, certain ones are more commonly accepted as being stress-related symptoms, but it could be anyone in the body. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration declared stress a hazard of the workplace. Stress costs American industry more than $300 billion annually. $300 billion. Okay, and I know there's many, many studies as I started my work in this field as a physiotherapist. One of the first signs that I could tell stress was a role in this work was when I worked in a workers' compensation practice for about 5 years. And I saw the role of stress in people working in a lot of repetitive strain injuries that people were dealing with. And I started to look at the research back then. This was in the early 2000s. And I was even surprised back then to see a bunch of studies relating workplace stress to increased injury rates or increased pain and other type of ailments, physical ailments in the workplace. Now we know there's even more evidence showing that. It's very, very common. Last thing I'll say is the lifetime prevalence of an emotional disorder is more than 50%, often due to chronic untreated stress reactions. So what we talk about here in this channel is primarily the role of stress, mental and emotional stress, in the production and the persistence of somatic symptoms that are chronic, okay, that are not going away. And that's why I'm really highlighting here with this channel this type of information because it's not put out there enough. It's not talked about enough. It's not integrated enough into medicine. So I'm really trying to continue to pump the word out. Please, please pass this on to other people. Have people come to the channel or look for other information that's out there, because you're not going to find it in mainstream medicine quite yet. It's not there yet. It's not been taught enough in schools. Doctors aren't trained to assess and treat for this type of stuff. If you like the channel, please give it a thumbs up. It helps to spread the word to other people who are looking for this information. I want you guys to all look at your own conditions and realize the role of stress in your condition, if that's true. Again, we have so much information now, so much data, so much research supporting this. It's just not mainstream. Okay, and continue to focus on your stress, not your structure or not your symptoms. Focus on the stress, not the symptoms, when you're dealing with a stress-related condition. Okay, and just think about that. It's very simply focus on reducing the stress, not increasing the stress. It's a very simple statement to say, but in a way, that's what we need to do. We need to reduce the stress for you to reduce symptoms that are related to stress. So that can be many things. Then I talk about a lot of these things on the channel here. I just want to highlight that today, that stress is a massive, massive issue in the production of somatic symptoms in the body. It's the most neglected area of medicine. I'll continue to bring forth information about this so that we can learn more about how this impacts us, and then also how we can get out of it to feel better. Take care, everybody. I really appreciate your support, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.